What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we are going to be discussing the worst weight misses, or the serial weight misses, of every single UFC division. These are the guys who you really got to be looking out when they're walking to the scales. You know, sometimes you look at a fight card lineup and you can think to yourself, you know, things should go off without a hitch. We're getting these 14 or 13 or 12 contracted fights, and they're going to be going ahead with no fines of purses, with no pullouts due to weight complications. This should all be fine. But then you see some other guys on the card from time to time and you think there's about to be some shenanigans. I'm expecting this. Like, you look at the start of the week, we got 14, you'd be like, yeah, we're ending the week with at least 11 fights. So that's what we're talking about in today's video. Just the guys who are not reliable on the scale or have had weight troubles in the past. If there's a division that I really can't dig in my bag, because I am not going to be going back through every single fucking fighter in every division's tapology to check how many times they've missed weight. So if there's one division, like for instance bantamweight, I really had to dig. I had to think about it a little bit because there's not really anyone in the rankings, and I had to kind of process in my head who's missed weight a couple times at bantamweight. So couple divisions where it's a bit looser than others, but there's some divisions that really, like the ones in the thumbnail you can see. Obviously this video is heavily inspired by Kelvin Gastelum and Mr. KG, Mr. Tacos himself, who missed weight by 5 pounds, missing the middleweight limit at 191 pounds. This is really the inspiration for this video. But I thought I'd branch out because Guru's just done a solo video on Gastelum, so I thought I would shine the light on the others who are struggling with the extra pounds, using the towel of doom, I guess you could call it. Anyway, like and subscribe, and let's get into the video. So, flyweight. Flyweights for the most part are pretty disciplined because most of them are 5'5", and so it's pretty. They all walk around at like 130 anyway. Like these guys, apart from like Figgy back in the day. No, I'm not talking about past fighters as well, by the way. I will be talking about Battle, but he's like a recent fighter. Like, I'm not pulling Rumble Johnson out in this video. Like, I'm not going to be bringing guys. I'm not bringing out a William Knight pull who missed weight by 12 pounds at light heavyweight. I was considering it because there's not a lot of guys who miss at 205. But flyweight, Rafael Estevam is a guy who I actually like, and I actually think is a decent prospect in the division. But he's got his weight troubles, which is unfortunate. Twice out of 3 UFC fights he's missed weight. He's currently booked to fight Alan Nascimento November 1st, I believe. Nascimento's another Brazilian guy, another Brazilian grappler who's on his, I guess not on a streak, but coming off a win. Beat Jafael Filler earlier in the year, so we'll look out for that. And he does have a camp, because the one, I think from memory, he missed against Charles Johnson where he debuted on short notice and won the fight by decision comfortably in the first 2. Very hairy third round where Johnson kind of did his thing but just wasn't able to get the finish. Insane to think that Johnson was able to KO Lona Kavanagh and Joshua Van in comeback-ish wins, I guess, in fights that he was losing, but not be able to put Rafael Estevam away, who is not even remotely close to the level of striker as those two I've just mentioned. But yeah, he missed by I think 3 pounds against Charles Johnson, and I think he missed by 4 against Felipe Bunes in his last fight where he stepped in for Andre Lima. I'm going to try and check that now if I can. I'm going to, Jamie, pull up Rafael Estevam. Let me see if I can find the man, the myth, the legend. But I think he's actually quite good. So if he can get the weight under control and the UFC just stops booking him in short notice fights, he should be good. I don't know if there's a way for you to see the weight, but yeah, he made weight against Aguilar when that fight was booked on a full camp. So that's what I'm saying. I rate Estevam as a fighter. I rate his ability to win fights when he's healthy. Clearly, he's just had some trouble being healthy, but if he can get that sorted out, then hopefully we can see him kind of make a run. I've just also giving go head over to my community page. I've just put up a poll as of the time of recording, just put it up, for you guys to vote on who should be the number 15 ranked flyweight in the fan rankings, because we've had a few interesting results in the last couple of weeks. We obviously had Kaya Sakura losing, who was ranked. We had Lona Kavanagh losing as well, but showing out well. We've had some good flyweight fights recently, so head over there and make sure to vote for which of those 4 that I featured you believe should be fitting in at that number 15 spot. Esteban will definitely be ranked in the UFC rankings if he wins his next fight without missing weight, I would say. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Ramon Tavares. Now, bantamweight, I actually think there's some nerds done the stats for this. I think I saw a video about this. I am not the guy who's putting in 5 hours, 10 hours of effort to go through every single weight miss in the UFC's history and find out which division has the highest weight miss rate. But I would assume it is lightweight. If I had to guess, it would be lightweight or welterweight would be my assumption. If we're doing the total pounds, there's definitely a video. I don't know what it is. If there is, go search it up and watch it and come back to me. But my guesses are lightweights with a bunch of 1 or 2 or 3 pound misses, welterweights-ish the same, and then maybe a couple middleweights. It's those divisions where there's the big gaps. You won't see the light heavyweights missing as much because most of them just, if they're going to be fat, they just fight at heavyweight. But yeah, I'm guessing lightweight number 1. Actually, I'll say featherweight number 2. I reckon there's been some cheeky featherweight misses. And then like welterweight-ish with those big weight jumps. But bantamweight, Ramon Tavares. Bantamweight, I didn't find a lot of guys to miss weight. I know Daniel Santos, I believe, missed weight and since has moved up to featherweight and won a fight after missing against Davey Grant and getting his fight cancelled. But there's no real, who's the last ranked bantamweight that you can think's missed weight? Unless someone's got some deep bag and I don't. Pull in your bag and find out the last ranked bantamweight to miss weight. Because I'm looking through Marab, O'Malley, Umar. I don't think Umar's ever missed. Yan, Corey, Song, Figgy, Cheeto. Would Cheeto have missed at what? Maybe Cheeto missed against Figgy or something? I don't know. I don't think so. Mario, Zahabi. Aldo I know missed. He was technically ranked. So there you go. That's your answer. He got the fight. He didn't miss on the scale, technically. He got the fight moved the day before. But Aldo's Aldo. Whatever. That's fine. I'm talking about the last proper bantamweight to miss. There's not a lot of them. Maybe a Kyler Phillips has missed at some point. But Ramon Tavares, I believe, has missed twice, and that is actually why he is fighting at featherweight against Jack Jenkins next weekend at UFC Perth, because he missed in his debut against Surrey City, won a lot of people thought was questionable decision, and then I don't know if he had another fight after that, but then I think he fought I think he missed against Davey Grant from memory. So yeah, Ramon Tavares not been a guy who's been reliable on the scale, which is why he's up at 45. So that was the only guy I could really think of. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega, T-City, he's got to be up at lightweight now. This is twice in 3 fights, twice in 2 opponents. This is back-to-back opponents, I guess you could say, because obviously with this Aljo thing where he ended up needing to get the fight at 153, really should not have been fighting in. I mean, you can feel bad for him, but there's also an element of at least I can respect Ortega, who's clearly struggling medically to make weight, unlike Gastelum, who's just fat. We're not seeing medical troubles with Gastelum. We're just seeing him fat and out of shape on the scale, clearly not cutting water weight. But Ortega's just, I don't know. But the thing is, the reason I can't really sympathize with him is because, dude, you're skinny fat. You're built like a Diaz brother. You've got that Latino, not ripped kind of build, love-handly, not fat. He's not got the belly on the scale, but you don't see a lot of muscle there, and it's dude, you shouldn't be that sucked out. I guess he just struggles to get anything off his frame, but brother, can we lean out a bit? Can we get some abdomens? Can we get some definition and instead of just this bag of milky, not bag of milk, but just flat physique. So yeah, Brian Ortega definitely got to move up to 55. I think he's going to look like a fucking dwarf at 55. Not height wise, he's not a short guy, but he's just going to look he's just not going to be physical enough at 55. I think he's going to get tossed around like a bitch. So he needs to get the weight in check, otherwise he's just going to lose another fight at 55 and get cut. His next fight, I think is win or get cut, in my opinion. Anyway, let's move on. Also, yeah, with the Lopez thing, that's twice where he's, instead of just missing weight on the scale, he has to pre-get the fight changed. He just lets them know, hey, I'm 10 pounds over. Which I can kind of respect. I'm going to miss weight. Let me make it look not as bad. And the people that are, retarded will be oh, they mutually agreed to a weight class change. It's no. Ortega, Aljamain Sterling did not mutually want to fight at 153 pounds. He is a former bantamweight. So that's another thing. Same bullshit happened with Lopez, and then he ended up getting that cancelled. So we'll see what happens with Ortega. But yeah, got to be up at 55 next, you'd think. Anyway, let's move on. Mikdebek Orbay. Now, Joel Alvarez, my boy, is another guy who is a little bit susceptible to be the pound or two over the limit. Let me go to Alvarez. But Mikdebek Orbay is a guy who has pulled the Brian Ortega move of just getting fights changed to a new weight class. I believe he got the Rebecca fight changed to 160, and I believe he got the Tafik Messiah fight changed to 165 his last time out. Hopefully we get to see him back in there. But dude, you got to get your weight under control. He beat Uros Medic in his debut at welterweight. Immediately said, "Hey, I've been a lightweight on the regional scene. I'm cutting to lightweight." We're like, this dude's going to be a fucking problem if he's doing that up at welterweight. Goes down, has a relatively competitive fight with Elvis Brenner, wins. Then fights Rebecca, again, yeah, gets the fight changed, so effectively misses by 5, because that was on his end, not Rebecca's, from memory. If I'm wrong, I apologise, I'm wrong. But pretty sure it was Oralby's side. Maybe both of them were struggling with the weight. But yeah, 160 for that one, and then I believe he was weighing like 164, 166 or something against Tafik Messiah. Mikdebek Orbay. Let me just check him. If you can actually see what the weight was. But I know Alvarez has missed a little bit. I know in his past, Charles Oliveira missed at featherweight. There's been guys at lightweight to miss as well. I mean, I could put in Arman just for basically missing weight, but let me see. The annoying thing is on the Tapology, it doesn't show up as a weight miss because the fights fucking got changed. The fights got changed beforehand. Let me see. Mikdebek Orbay weigh-in. But yeah, Orbay, like, he's a fun fighter, dude. He gets in scraps. He's good to watch, but you gotta fucking sort the weight out. Even like Dana White, like, I think
Orbay with the Kimura.
This was what he said.
Performance, don't you think that deserves a bonus?
We'll see. The Kimura, the kid that didn't make weight. He didn't make weight. He missed weight by 10 pounds. He came over and told me after the fight, he said, "I'm going to be a world champion someday." I said, "You better figure out how to make weight first before you..."
Listen, kid, you got to make weight. Anyway, I can't seem to find the exact weight, but yeah, missed weight by 10, like, got the weight class changed to full 10 pounds. Like, you can't be doing that, brother. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, welterweight, Brian Fattle. Yeah, this man, but like, okay, I know his last miss was a middleweight. I couldn't really think of a welterweight to put. There's a few, like, Chitty's missed weight a couple times, I believe. Who's missed weight at welterweight? I'm really so, like, fair, because as much as Holland fucking whinges about welterweight, he's never missed welterweight. Like he clearly doesn't cut that much weight. Let's look up UFC welterweight, because if there's anyone else. But Brian Battle is the guy. Dude, you missed weight by like 5 pounds against, Randy Brown, and then the fact you fucking moved up and still missed is insane work. Yeah, I don't think anyone else in the top of the division's missed. Let's see, just to make sure. D-Rod, don't think D-Rod's ever missed. You could say Hamza back when he was at 170, but like, dude. Anyone else? I'm not looking at any names here that stand out. I know Chitty's missed. I think Zaleski might have missed a time, one or two times. Yeah, I'm just scrolling down the rankings, and he's the only guy that really stands out, Brian Battle, as someone to, like, badly miss weight. And then, the fact that he fucking did it again. The fact he did it. I think a 4 or more pound weight miss. Like, because for most divisions, like, for, like, 126, a 4 pound weight miss would be 130. So, like, 140 for bantamweight, 150 for featherweight, 160 for lightweight, 175, 190, 210. Like, if you're on that, like, if your weight is not starting with the division, like 125, 130, like, if your weight does not start with 1-2 or 1-3 or 1-4, 1-5 or 1-7 under 5, like, dude, immediately forced to move up, in my opinion. I think it's a 3 strike and you're out for, like, small little 1 or 2, 1.5, half pound, 2 pounds. Yeah, 4 pounds or more, immediately move up. I think if you miss weight by, like, above 5 is the cap. I think if you miss weight by over 5 pounds, you're cut. just your cut. Like, you got to get your shit under control. Weight, if you can preemptively say, like, medical problem, can we get the weight changed? I physically can't get down. We can talk and we can say, all right, that's an immediate move up. If you're having to get like an Ortega or like an Oral Bite, if you're having to get the weight class changed like 2 hours, 3 hours before, that's an immediate move up. But if you step on the scale yourself without a agreed weight class change, out anything over 5 pounds, you should just be cut straight away. I don't even care if it's a fucking champion. Dude, if a champion shows up somehow 4 pounds over, cut them from the sport, 5 pounds over. Like, you need to create standards, like, professional athletes. I think Guru, I'm lamenting or whatever the word is, like, regurgitating what Guru said before as well. But, like, these dudes don't deserve NFL, NBA pay if they're missing weight at the fucking rate that they are. Like, it's not injury. Like, it's not like pullouts with injuries is a different thing. Just being fat and not being able to cut weight is like, fuck off. Or because and the thing is, it's like, oh, but they're so big for the division, they're cutting so much weight, they're drained. I'm like, okay, well then don't be a weight bully and just fight up a weight class and be skilled. If you're that unskilled that you need a weight advantage of like 7 pounds because you just can't fight it with people who are like an inch taller than you. Like, just get out the sport, bro. Anyway, let's move on. Kelvin Gastelum, Mr. KG himself, how does one achieve this build? Bro, what the fuck is that physique, man? I swear to God, you know what I said before in the intro? When you look at a card and you be like, oh, I got a bad feeling, let me check weigh-ins. Let me check MMA Orbit on Twitter for the weigh-in results, let me check MMA Fighting or whatever for the weigh-in results. Because the UFC weighing show is like the worst place to actually see the weigh-ins, because they're just fucking doing goofy shit half the time. It's just Laura Sanko and DC just fucking flirting with each other whilst being married, That's all you get out the weigh-in show. You don't actually see... Half the time, bro, people weigh in and they'll be like... I've actually watched like the MMA Fighting or like a different stream for weigh-ins, and then, like, someone weighs in. I go over to the UFC. They're fucking playing some drinking game. And then, like, 10 minutes later, they're like, oh, so this was this guy weighing in. I'm like, dude, the point of actually streaming a weigh-in show is to show the weigh-ins. If people didn't care about seeing the weigh-ins, they wouldn't be watching the weigh-in show. No, I don't think anyone's like, oh, I've really got to watch the weigh-in show. Not because of the weigh-ins or I want to see the championship guys make weight. I want to just see Laura Sanko and DC fucking around and like Michael Bisping talking about Laura Sanko's tits. Like, dude, what the fuck? The weigh-in show's so terrible. It's funny, but it's like, bro, can we show the fighters when they step on the scale? But Kelvin Gastelum, this is what I was saying. I couldn't find a broadcast anywhere to watch the Noche weigh-ins, but I looked it up and I see weigh-in results, and I looked down the list. I'm scrolling down. Lopez, Gene, they both made. I'm like, all right, Gene, I was a bit concerned about. Good, he made it. Co-main's good. Gordon, Garcia. Gordon fucking got hit by a car. He made weight. Everyone's good. And I looked, there's a few guys. I think it's like Alice Pereira might not have weighed in at that point. I'm like, oh, whatever, who cares? I was like, I think I saw like Dusko Todorovic, and I was like, oh, weirdly, I could see him missing weight or something by a pound. And then I look up and I see Kelvin Gastelum, and I'm like, oh, God. Oh, Jesus, he hasn't made weight yet. And then immediately in that moment, I'm like, he's about to miss middleweight. Sure enough, and this was before it had updated, sure enough, I go to IG, I refresh, and it's just a Photoshop thing of like Kelvin Gastelum's head with the body of Dave Blunt's, and it says Gastelum misses middleweight by 5 pounds, and I'm like, are you serious? Check Twitter. It's legit. I'm like, oh my God, this man missed by 5 pounds. Kelvin Gastelum, I believe if you got the combined weight misses, including getting the D-Rod fight literally moved up 15 pounds. I'm counting that as a 15-pound weight miss, by the way. So that's 5 against Stoltzfus, 15 against D-Rod. I know he missed Woodley by 10, so that's 30 already just from 3 of them. There's a bunch of early welterweight misses as well. Dude, I think if you combined Gastelum's weight misses, he has a combined 50 pounds of weight miss. That's insane. Imagine tallying that up with every guy on the roster. Like, most guys will be like under 5 or under 10. And then you just got the fucking, it's like a graph. Like, and then you just got Gastelum's like 50 pounds. Like William Knight's just at his 18 from that one, or he's 12 from that one, and then you look a bit of a rise there, a bit of a bump, and then just this pillar sticking out of the graph all the way up to the Y column type shit, and it's just gas. With no joke, I think he would have 50 pounds of combined missed weight. If you include the D-Rod fight where he literally had to get it moved up a weight class. So yeah, fucking disgrace of a human. Kelvin Gastelum, Guru said what he needed to in the video. Takes one to know one though, I will say that. As Guru, check your own weight, buddy. Step on a scale. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, light heavyweight. Not a lot of guys are light heavyweight. Like again, William Knight's not in the sport anymore. Diar Nergej is the only like big weight miss I could find recently. I'm pretty sure he missed weight by 5 pounds for his debut. I think he weighed in at 211. Which is just, again, like, that's a fucking disgrace. And then he went out there and lost his next fight. It should be cut. Like, I already did a video on fighters who should be cut, but, like, dude, I swear to God, there's so many that just don't need to be on the roster, bro. We have, like, 40 light heavyweights. That's, like, 20 too many. That's 15 too many. Like, Tafa, Tokos, Sequeira, Diar Nergej, Ivan Erslan, all these guys, Ibo Arslan, none of these guys need to be signed. Like, we could cut so many guys again. But yeah, Diar Nergej missed by 5 pounds. I just couldn't think of anyone else. Like, if you want to go back to ages, I think, like, did Rumble ever miss light heavyweight? Probably did. But anyway, wasn't his biggest weight miss at, like, middleweight? Tell me where I'm wrong. I forget. Because Rumble, I know, spanned from fucking welterweight to heavyweight. But, like, he actually made welterweight a couple times. Wasn't his biggest weight miss just like a random like middleweight or light heavyweight fight? Anyway, let's move on. If you're new to this sport, you might be thinking, surely you heavyweight's like the basically unlimited weight class. How could anyone miss heavyweight? How could anyone miss 265? Well, you'd be wrong, because 2 men have done it, and I'm putting one of them in the video. The other one is Justin Tafa. But Justin Tafa versus Chris Barnett actually needs to be a fight to be made. Like, I'm very much in favour of both the Tafa brothers being cut, because I despise the two of them. Never met either of them. They just both look like absolute fucking cunts of blokes. Like, they just piss me off the way they look at. Plus, they're shit fighters. Junior, I especially hate. Junior's terrible. But Justin Tafa versus Chris Barnett. I'm like, because we just keep getting Tafa brother main event, like not main event, a fight, main card spots, and it's pissing me off. Justin Tafa was a feature fight of a pay-per-view in his last time out. Junior was a main card fight, I believe. Junior was scheduled for the co-main next weekend before he pulled out with an injury. He should just be cut flat out. And yeah, what's it called? Justin Tafa missed weight. The other guy to miss weight at heavyweight is Chris Barnett. Chris Barnett I'm putting here because it's worse. Like, Chris Barnett looks even more fat than Justin, which is a difficult accomplishment to make. But he's managed to do it, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that'll be it, guys. Chris Barnett, Justin Tafa needs to be the main event of the next Australia card, because clearly that's the way we're going, the way we're heading with how shit these cards are. Anyway, goodbye. See you in the next one. Go vote on the community polls and stuff. There's a few of them up on the fan rankings. I'll leave them up for a couple. Like, I'll leave them up permanently, but I'll leave it another day or two before I log all that information and update my Google Docs with all the fan rankings. Anyway, Waldo Cortez Acosta's fighting Ante De Leija. I just found that out there, and that's fucking dreadful. Anyway, goodbye.